It's Madden NFL 23, and we've got J.C. Jackson. He's entering rarefied air with every interception, now up to 12 this season. It's the Chargers and the Raiders, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
Well, even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they are hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Taking it about the 1. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger offense makes its way out for the first time in this ball game, and leading the way, already a star in just his 3rd season, it's Justin Herbert.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it, because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They started on the ground with Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Give him 2 on the play there, and it'll give the Chargers a first down. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out. How vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. It may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 12 yards there. The Chargers have a first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Herbert. He's got Allen. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. A quick check on the numbers for Keenan Allen from last week. 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Eckler now between the tackles. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Herbert on first down now. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Running on first down, Eckler. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. On second down and 4. Herbert on the screen. This is Eckler. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chargers are on the board first here in Vegas. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And as the Raiders take over on offense, we get to see the man who has been the leader of this team for 9 seasons now, under center Derek Carr.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Carr now to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. DeAndre Carter back deep. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. It's Eckler again. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 52 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Rolling to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's going to be close to a first down as he gets this to the Raiders' 44. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game has to be sky high. In fact, you'd be absolutely stunned to come away with a loss in that one. Could you imagine going to the press conference and trying to explain that?
And he is going to have the Chargers' first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of the football.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On first down, it's Herbert. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Chandler Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 15-yard line. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. On 2nd down, Eckler. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. The Chargers on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is 3rd and 8. Herbert now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Here's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
3 yards to go.
Now Carr again. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 27-yard line. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Carr now on 1st down. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. These two teams aimed that up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Jacobs. Now a loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker. 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Now a dump off here complete. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Now a play fake. Carr. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. On the return, Carter. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense heading back out as we take a closer look at Austin Ekeler. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. He'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A gain there of 21 yards.
21 yards. 1st down, Chargers.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Herbert operating from the red zone. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Herbert. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Ekeler with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He gets this to Devontae Adams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing on first down is Carr. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Carr. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. A 61-yard attempt.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. But that is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards. And this one winds up no good.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And he missed it. It's no good. And the lead will stay put at 17. So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. Let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats for the Chargers in that first half. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. Now comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Carr going to throw. And a pass complete to Waller on the out route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On play action, now Carr. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense just not getting after it. They're not giving up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw his Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Taken down at the 41. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Complete to Josh Jacobs. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Carr. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Brings up 2nd and
Now Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyron Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert. It's a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. So potentially a big turnaround brewing to begin this third quarter as this defense forces a much-needed turnover.
Yeah, this is a team starting to work in concert now, right? They went out and got a touchdown to start the second half, and now they get the football right back.
The Raiders now set to get the football back. They coming off a touchdown drive. The last time they had the ball, that cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. This offense in desperate need of conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Once again, it's Jacobs. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Taken down right at the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but a starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. On the give, this is Eckler. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? Love has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Herbert's pass, complete to Darren Waller. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, can't fault these numbers, 7 for 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it. Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line.
The tackle made by Joey Bosa brings up 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people around, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. Here comes Carter. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. On 1st down, Justin Herbert, and he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On first down, it's Herbert. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And the Raiders are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The open man here, Renfro. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd
Carr. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It was Joey Bosa working his way in to bust that one up.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Carr. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. They'll give him 4 yards there, and 3rd and 8 now.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. Crossing route, and he's got his man. It's Renfro. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 24-yard line. That one good for 24 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. And this is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
J.C. Jackson there defensively.
Now Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game You're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Herbert. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Abdullah to return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. So Carr and the Raiders now down 17-13. Just over a minute 40 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Throwing is Carr. Connecting with Renfro. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Here's Carr. And that's complete to Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Now Carr. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Carr to throw. Out to the left. That's where the tight end Moreau is. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Carr. Same target. It's Jacobs again. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. To throw is Carr. Catch made. It's Moreau. And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Back to throw. Carr. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And it's caught. One final try now for Carr. And this is going to be caught. It's caught. And they've won the football game. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
What's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Las Vegas, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles